My name is Angela.
My name is Nicole.
And welcome to the Ominous Stitch podcast. Hello, Stitchers!
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Ominous Stitch podcast.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I am so excited for this week's episode. It's going to be so cool.
Yay!
Yay! I love this because, you know, in my old life, in my old profession, I spend a lot of time on stage. And so I'm so glad that we're doing haunted theaters. This is going to be way cool because theaters are definitely haunted.
I love it. And the theatrical, the emotions. Oh, so much.
There's so much for spirits to feed on.
Yes.
This is another listener request. So shout out to Kate. So thanks, Kate, for suggesting this. We're very excited to do this one for you guys.
That's right.
Oh, let's dive in for stitches. I'm like, let's go. Let's go. I'm ready to go. So Nicole,
yes,
what has you in stitches this week?
All right. So on theme of kind of theaters and entertainment, I am hooked on a new show.
What are you hooked on? I'm excited. I need new shows.
I told her I have a new idol, and my husband's going to love this too because he introduced me to it. And we are now watching Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Have you seen Ted Lasso?
No, because we don't have that streaming service.
Okay.
What is it on? Apple? Yeah, we don't have Apple.
We don't either. He did it because he liked this show so much. So I got introduced to it, and I'm so happy because Ted Lasso, dude, it's like the most positive show you'll ever watch.
Oh, how sweet. Yeah. That's awesome.
It makes you feel good. I actually cried this last, we finished the third or fourth episode of the first season. Mm-hmm. And I was crying.
Oh, yeah. That's sweet.
And it touches your heart, and it's so good.
I want to watch
See?
it.
Okay. Yeah, you got to watch it. So the casting is phenomenal. It's made for Jason Sudeikis. Yes. Perfect.
Oh, I love him.
As Ted Lasso. And and it's funny because I was talking about my husband, and we were both in agreement. You hear about the topic of, a football coach going to England to coach a soccer team, and you're like, oh, right. Cool, okay. Yeah. But it's so good.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's people are always out to get other people and, being vindictive. And Ted Lasso just takes it and turns it around, and he makes everything beautiful and just happy in a good way, not annoying.
Oh, that's awesome. So, a ray of sunshine type of show. Yes. I love that.
He is my idol now. So I'm going to be Ted Lasso. So I love it. If anybody has not seen it, please go see it. Go see Ted Lasso because it's so good. And the third season just dropped, I think, too.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So watch it.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to figure out how to watch it. I want to watch it now.
Yeah, I come home, I do all my things as a mom. I do my mom things. And then we finally have time to watch it. I just put it on now. And I'm like, we got to watch it.
It's your drug.
Yes, it is.
You need that pick me up. Oh,
I really do.
Wonderful. So, that's so good.
Watch Ted Lasso.
Okay. All right.
What's got you in stitches?
Okay. So mine is not as positive as yours.
That's good. We need some
balance.
Balance.
Yeah. Balance it out. Okay. So mine is very ominous.
Okay.
Very dark. I kind of teased it last episode when I talked about how I have another ominous farm.
Yes.
Thing. Okay. So last week, my husband comes home from work, and he's like, "There's a dead hawk in the yard."
You told me this?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So I'm like, "Oh, what?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh no!" So I go out there, and I'm like, "What is?" So I go out there. It's a beautiful red-tailed hawk. Aww. It's beautiful.
I love hawks. Hawks are gorgeous birds.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it's big, and I've never been that close to a live. It's not live anymore. But it was fully intact, fully feathered. I'm like, what did it die of? Its eyes were completely gray.
No,
there were no pupils, no anything, just gray.
So it died of old age?
I'm guessing it was old age because I don't know what else, because it was fully intact. There was nothing it wasn't ripped apart by an animal. It wasn't attacked. It was just laying on the ground.
Oh, no.
Yeah, by the side of my house. So, I disposed of it properly, and I
Did
took
you
care
pick
of
it up with your bare hands?
No,
Okay, good.
I don't touch things with my bare hands. But yeah, so I was just like, very respectful of it, but it was beautiful. At the same time, it was very like ominous to have this like beautiful dead bird with gray eyes. It looked like they were fully cataract, just like there was no whites of the eyes.
That's so
no
creepy.
pupil, no anything.
And it was
just
intact
gray.
too, and there was nothing
Fully,
wrong with it.
Yes, nothing. So
that's not cool.
I think it was old age.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was weird.
Just dead in your yard. I
Just
wonder
dead
if
in my yard.
is that an omen, do you think?
I don't know. I was too scared to like look it up to see if that was like some kind of an omen.
It could be.
It could be.
Should we look it up?
Oh, okay. Let's look it up.
Okay, I'm going to look it up. Yes, hawks in general are considered a good omen or good luck.
Oh, okay. Good luck.
But what about a dead hawk?
I don't know.
Okay, what is the spiritual meaning of a dead hawk? It represents a sign of change, is an indicator of a larger transformation to come, such as a shift in priorities and beliefs. This could signal the beginning of a spiritual transformation and the subsequent changes it could bring. So it's not scary.
Ooh, it's just
actually
a symbol
just a
of
change.
change.
Yeah.
How interesting. I mean, because this whole farm life is a big shift and big change for me and for the whole family.
That's right.
So,
So maybe it's a
so
good thing.
cool.
So maybe it's just showing you, even though it's dead. Poor guy.
It's a symbol of there's
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
This is a big change.
So
This is
that's
a big
not so
shift.
bad.
Okay, good. I
Okay.
was totally terrified that it was going to be a
would
very
too.
scary, ominous
With
thing.
the eyes and everything?
Yes.
Yeah, that's creepy.
So,
I'm sorry.
cool. Okay, I'll have to
So
tell
you're
my
good.
husband and the kids that,
Yeah.
no, the dead hawk is just a symbol of change.
Yes.
We have a new life. This is a new thing, a new journey that we're on
That's right.
at the farm.
It's going to be okay.
It's all going to be okay.
And that's a good thing. Change is good.
Change
You
is
got to accept
good.
it and embrace it.
Yes.
Or else it's going to, when you try to fight change.
Oh my gosh.
That's the worst.
Yeah. Don't fight change.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something that
Yes.
has been like a story in my life, something that's been going on? The biggest example I have of this, and I see this like repeatedly happen through my life. People have this where you have something, whether you believe it's your conscious or you believe it's your spirit guides or you believe it's God or whatever you believe, you'll hear something in your head say, it's time for a change. It's time for a shift.
Your
It's time
intuition?
for something. Intuition.
You're really good at that, though.
So because I've learned that I have to pay attention to that little whisper. So anytime I have a whisper, if I ignore it, that whisper turns into a louder voice.
Really?
And a louder voice and a louder voice until it slaps me in my face and I have no choice but to make that change.
Huh.
This has been happening in my life. So one of the best examples that I can show you is when I was after college. So I, graduated with a music degree.
Yes.
And I went on to grad school and I graduated with a master's degree. And then I quit music. Didn't want to sing. I'm hitting my microphone. I'm that
passionate about it.
I didn't want to sing. I didn't want to perform. I didn't want to do anything. I was done. I was so burnt out. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And instead, I went into working with animals and I became a vet tech. And I was working at an animal hospital. And the animal hospital was about to go through a change in leadership. I wasn't happy. Like, it was nice working with animals and I learned a lot. And I learned a lot of animal medicine, but it wasn't what I obviously spent almost my whole life up to that point working on.
Sure.
And it wasn't really where I was supposed to be in my life. And I knew that. And I heard whispers in my head, like, you need to quit. You need to go pursue music. It's time to stop. You need to go finish what you started.
Yeah.
And I would ignore it and be like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I gave it up. I don't want to do it. And I even like gave away all my music and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then that voice just would get louder and louder and louder to the point where I went to work one day at the animal hospital and everyone was kind of like in a tizzy. And I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, the hospital's closing in 30 days. And I was like, why is the hospital closing in 30 days? Because another vet in the area swooped in
Oh, no.
and took the lease from us, from the animal
What
hospital.
a jerk.
Because there's a lot of things going on, but he wanted to be the main vet in the area.
Sure. He was
And-
competition.
Yeah. So he wanted to be, so
That's what I'm
he
saying,
was
jerk.
very shady.
Very shady.
Yeah. So what happened is the two animal hospitals merged. And it was
so it was under his leadership. Or
it was under his
something?
leadership,
Yeah,
and it was in a very like prominent area where there's a lot of movie stars.
Sure.
So he wanted to be the vet for the movie stars, right?
Yeah.
So that's what happened. So they wound up merging the hospitals, but it was like the hospital was closing. I was going to be out of a job.
That's
so
cool.
even though in my head for months to this point, it was like, you need to leave, you need to quit. All of a sudden the universe was like, you have no choice.
Yep. You're out.
You're out. You're done. This is it. Isn't that crazy?
That is really
so that's
crazy.
been like a theme. If I ignore change, it's going to happen anyway. So I can't fight the change. It's going to happen.
Deal with it. Go with the flow.
Right.
I love it.
So anyway, that's
you got
cool.
change to just kind of go through and
I said a change will do you good. A change will do you good. I even do the
Sheryl
background.
Crow. That's
Yeah.
good job.
Thank you.
Bird.
Yeah, it is. It all comes back together.
It all comes back. Oh, I love it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well,
That's
you
cool.
have some crazy cool thing to show us. and
I do,
demonstrate
you know,
and-
because we're bringing the drama with the story time. So I thought I needed to bring the drama with the stitch this
it's
week.
really cool.
It's cool.
Okay.
Are we ready to get stitching?
Yeah.
Let's get stitching. Okay, Stitchers. So this week I thought we would explore the wild and crazy dramatic world of color pooling.
Which I've never heard of.
It's so cool. So color pooling is something that fascinated me for a long time. I'm like, how does that work? And the idea behind color pooling is that you take a variegated yarn, so a yarn that has many colors, all,
Which is so
all
cool.
throughout it,
Yeah.
and you control the color placement for that yarn.
Nice.
Right? So you decide where those colors are going and you line them up according to whatever plan you have for the pooling. Now, how does that work? You might ask.
Please do tell.
And I've seen like different examples of color pooling, but the one that I wanted to do was an Argyle. So I made an Argyle pattern with this yarn. And I watched many videos. So I'll give you a couple of the websites that I've visited. But these are YouTube channels. So I'll give you a couple of the YouTube channels that I've visited. I visited It's Time for Yarn, and they have color pooling basics, and she tells you how to control the color and some basic ideas of color pooling. And then I also went to YHN Fiber Company.
Ooh.
And I followed her how to color pool and crochet with this great step-by-step guide. And I actually used one of the colors that she chose for her color pooling project. I went to the website because I thought it was really pretty.
Yay.
And so that's the main one that I went to with color pooling. But they both do a really good job of explaining the concept of color pooling, especially with the Argyle pattern.
Cool.
Okay.
You can make any pattern.
There are specific patterns for color pooling. So
Got it.
there is like, I know you can do like kind of a camouflaged kind of color pooling idea.
Nice.
But a lot of it is like striping and Argyle. So Argyle I thought was the coolest
It
thing.
looks really awesome what you made.
The stitch is simple. It's just the moss stitch. So there are two main stitches that you can do with color pooling. So it's moss, and you can also do the granny stitch if you have a yarn, but it really depends on the color length that happens in the yarn.
Got it.
And how the color repeat happens in the yarn as to what you can do.
Got it.
So I made it simple for myself.
Yay. That's
Apparently
better.
you can color pool with a lot of different types of variegated yarn, but the main things you want to look out for with a variegated yarn is that you want a consistent break. You don't want the yarn to ombre and slowly turn into the other color. You want it like we're going from blue to red to gray to white or whatever the color is. You want that nice color break so that it's not confusing to you where you need to switch the color and how you want to control the color.
Yeah.
And you also want consistent lengths of that color. Not all the colors have to be consistent lengths with it. So you can have a shorter red and a long white, but you want all the whites to be the same length. And you want all the reds and you want all the blues, whatever colors you have in there.
So it has to be exact.
You want the colors to be a similar length.
Yeah.
And you want about 10 to 12 inches in the color length as well. Okay. It doesn't have to be, you can change that around, but as long as you have a consistent color length and you know how many stitches you can get out of that color length, you're good to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I made it easy on myself and I chose a Red Heart yarn. They have specific color pooling yarn.
That is
so if
so
you want to try
cool.
this and make it easy on yourself, go to Red Heart. They have pooling.
It says
And
pooling.
it's pool, Pool, like you swim.
Yep.
Pooling. So color pooling yarn. And I chose the papaya because it has a bunch of colors. I think it has like 6 colors
That's
that you go
pretty.
through. The colorway, and it's called a colorway, all the colors that you go through in here. So this is called papaya, but they have a bunch of different pooling yarns in that line. So check it out, find which ones that you like the best. This has a 6 colorway, and each length is probably about 10 inches. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to pull out a bunch of yarn and find out exactly how many colors are in the colorway.
Oh.
And you know that based on like where the colorway starts and where it repeats itself. Okay.
Yeah.
So for mine, it goes red, orange, pink, blue, green, kind of like a purpley gray. And then we're back to the red.
Nice.
Okay. So that's my colorway here.
I love those colors. You picked
Isn't
a
it
good
pretty?
color.
It's
Yeah.
so fun.
Yep.
So that's my colorway. And each one is roughly the same length. So each color is about, I'd say about 10 inches. So I'm going to get the same amount of stitches for each color that I'm going to be controlling here. Okay.
Nice.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So when you're doing your practice swatch to see how this works and how you're going to do the color pooling, you're going to start at the first color. You're not going to start at the end of your yarn, but you're going to start where the first full color starts. So for example, mine started with the kind of purpley gray color, but I don't know if that was the full length of the yarn. So I started where it switched to the red, and I tied my slip knot right at that start.
Okay.
Okay. And then I chained all the way through the colorway.
Chain. Okay. Got it.
Okay. So I chained through red, through orange, through pink, through blue, through green, and through the purple. And then when it started red again, then I knew that that's where I needed to switch to do my first row.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we're using the moss stitch. So the moss stitch.
Yeah, remind me because I don't remember. I know
moss
it's an easy stitch.
Yeah, it's a single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1,
That's
skip
it.
1. That's
Yeah.
it. Simple.
I love it.
Easy.
Yeah.
And this is where you get to kind of do some finagling. So color pooling is really about controlling your tension.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you're going to have a looser stitch and sometimes you're going to have a tighter stitch because you want to make sure you get the same amount of V's or single crochets every single time in that color.
Yeah.
That's how you're controlling it.
Okay.
So my magic number, I'm using a size 5.5
Okay.
hook. And
that's about normal size.
yeah,
Usually
that's
like
a normal
6.
size.
Yeah.
That's what this yarn calls for, is a 5.5 or
Got
a
it.
5. I'm a tight stitcher, so I went up to a 5.5. But I think it says it calls
You're
for
a
a 5.
tight stitcher.
I'm a tight stitcher. So anyway, so we're gonna go. I went up to a 5.5, and I'm getting 3 V's. Okay, 3
V's.
V's per color, or
Okay.
3 single crochets per
okay.
color.
Mhm.
Okay, and so that's my magic number. Now your magic number can be different based on the length of the color that you're using, but
So it
you want to
depends.
get it consistent.
Okay.
Okay. So for me, in each of these colors, because all of the lengths are the same, it's 3. So what I did is once I single crocheted my way through the colorway, then I started my V's and I did 3 reds, and then I did 3 oranges, and then I did 3 pinks, and then 3 blues, 3 greens, 3 purples, and then I stopped. And as you can see, Nicole, I still have some chain left over.
Yeah.
That will be dealt with later.
Oh, you just leave it?
You just leave. You're going to have an extra
I'd be so
chain.
scared if I had an extra
No,
chain.
you're going to have an
sitting there.
extra chain, but you want to make sure you work your way back through the colorway before you switch, because this is going to set up your Argyle.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. What does that mean?
So that means I worked my way through all of the colors. So I did
Okay.
red,
Oh, got it.
orange, purple, blue, pink,
Got it. But
Okay.
now you've got
or green,
a
or
couple
whatever.
different
I'm
colors
looking at the
end.
different one.
Okay.
So yeah, and then I'm going to have leftovers because it eats up more yarn to work your way back through the colorway when you're doing the moss stitch. That's why.
Got it.
That's why I have a long tail. So don't worry about the long tail. We'll deal with that at the very end of the project. So just leave that long tail. But
Okay.
once you've done yourself all the way through the colorway, you're going to chain 2 and turn.
Okay.
Then you're going to start with red again, because that was the
where
first
you
color that we started
got
with,
it.
right?
Okay.
So I'm starting with red. So I have my 3 reds, and then I have my 3 oranges, and then I have my 3 pinks, and then I have 3 blues, and I have 3 greens, and then I have 3 purples, and then I've gone all the way back through again. So I'm going to chain 2 and turn. Now, this row is where you really need to start paying attention to make sure that you're creating an argyle and you aren't stacking.
Ooh.
So stacking is when you have the color from 2 rows below immediately underneath
You don't
the
want
color.
that.
You don't want that. You want to
Okay.
offset it by 1. You want your 3s to start shifting
Got it.
to one side. Okay. For me, they're going to shift to the left because I'm left-handed. Righties are going to shift to the right.
Interesting.
Okay. So they're going to shift off 1. Okay.
Got it.
So we don't want the colors to stack. We want them to shift 1 over. So I'm going to show Nicole
Okay, yep,
here.
I see that. That's so cool.
So see how this
It goes to the
purple, it's going to start shifting
Yeah.
over 1.
Yep.
Do you see that?
I do.
That's what's going to start making this argyle pattern.
Yes.
So when you're
Okay.
pooling, you're going to keep the rule of 3 going, and you're going to shift 1 over.
Always shift.
Always shift. So
Okay.
sometimes that means you're going to have to adjust your tension, because sometimes you're going to need, when you're making the corners, because you're chaining 2 for the corner.
Yeah.
For me, it's always in the corners where I have to really pay attention to, do I need to loosen up my tension, or do you need to create more tension? Because I need to make sure I get my
Everything's lined up.
3
Yeah.
and everything's lining up.
Yeah.
So that's where color pooling is
be
a little difficult, because you have to pay attention to,
Yeah.
am I getting 3 stitches for my color,
Mm-hmm.
and is my color shifting 1 over?
That's crazy.
But other than that, it's pretty mindless, because you're like 3, 3, 3. Yes, I'm lined up. Cool. 3, 3, 3. Yes,
but
I'm
you
lined
just
up.
always double check. Yeah.
Yes, you always double check.
That's
and make
cool.
sure. So that's color pooling.
I love it.
Yeah.
But you have to use the color pooling yarn.
It can work with most variegated yarns.
Oh, okay.
But
you
the
just need
rules
to
with the
measure.
variegated yarns are that you want to make sure that it's a clean color change,
Right.
and that you have a nice long length of that color that's not too short, that you can get a consistent number of stitches from
Got
that
it.
color.
Okay.
So those are the rules. Yeah.
But then, so what you did here, so
Yes.
let's talk about Angela's, which is so cool. Got about 8 inches, 7 inches, in width wise.
Yes.
What would you make with this? Because you probably want to make it bigger, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So blankets.
Yeah.
You can always do blanket with it. What I would love to do, I'm thinking of making this a double panel. So I'm going to pull all of this out, because this is just a sample,
Oh, but
just to
that's so
see if I could do it. I know. Well, I'm going to pull all of it out and make it double.
Okay. Okay.
So work my colorway
Yeah.
through twice.
Got it.
I really want to make a sweater, but the only way that I can think of right now to make a sweater is to do what I did for you and make that wrap.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to
Which I
make
need
a
to take a
wrap
picture of,
sweater.
sorry.
Yes, you do. So I think I'll make an argyle wrap sweater with
That's
it, and then just do the
cool.
sleeves at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
So yeah, you can make like a scarf.
I was thinking scarf.
Yeah, because it's
Especially
definitely
with
the
that, what you
width
did it.
of a scarf
Yeah.
right here. So scarf,
pretty.
blanket, pillow.
Pillow.
Yeah, always pillow.
Okay.
I would love to make like a real argyle sweater, but I don't know how to control the color
With
that way
sleeves
with
and
the yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
So unless you crochet just sections and then you sew it together, but I don't know how to do a continuous
Right.
sweater that way.
Yeah.
So it's something to play with, but it's a really cool concept. So
Never heard of it. So that's awesome that you showed us this.
yes, so go check out color pooling. You can find all kinds of YouTube videos on it and give it a try. It's really fun.
Very cool.
Yeah. And
Thank
it's
you.
just a simple moss stitch. So
Yay, my stitch.
yay.
Yay. From like what, episode 2?
yeah. It was like really early on we did the moss stitch.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Thank you, Angela.
You're welcome. Yay.
That's so exciting. You want to
Okay.
get into story time?
Yeah, let's go to story time.
Haunted theaters.
Haunted theaters.
And our first haunted theater.
the Phantom of the Opera is here.
You're going to be singing so much.
Inside my mind. Am I really?
Yeah, because I'm going to mention like musicals left and right
okay.
constantly. I'm
Here
sure
we
you're going
go.
to start singing.
Everybody put your take your headphones off, because it might get loud and weird here.
So our first haunted theater comes to us, like, as Angela mentioned, from Kate.
Yay, Kate!
Thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you, Kate.
This is really cool. We are going to Decatur, Illinois, and we're going to the Lincoln Square Theater.
Ooh.
Apparently, a few years ago, this theater was almost torn down due to
No.
having significant structural issues, but thankfully it was saved by locals. So it's still up.
Good.
Yeah.
Save the clock tower.
Exactly. But as always, let's jump to the past first.
Oh,
So
yes.
prior to the Lincoln Square Theater, the first hotel was built in 1860 called the Priest Hotel. Then it was bought in 1880, and that's why I said it was the first, because now we renamed it to the new Deming. Then in 1892, it sold again and renamed the Decatur and Arcade Hotel. Okay, so it just keeps moving around in hotel names.
Okay.
In 1904, the building caught fire.
No.
It was rebuilt, thankfully, but then it caught fire again.
Oh, no.
On April 21st, 1915. Okay. 2 people perished in the fire.
Oh, no.
Yes, W.E. Graham and C.S. Guild, but some other guests were actually unaccounted for, so we weren't sure if they either perished or disappeared completely, just ran away.
Uh-oh.
The fire was discovered by an engineer in the boiler room of the basement of the hotel, but no explanation of how the fire was started is still unknown. I actually have a picture of the fire from that time. See that?
Wow.
Back then, that's the fire.
That's
the
crazy.
building dead. Atop the ashes of the hotel rose the Lincoln Theater, built in 1916. It opened as mainly a vaudeville theater, but hosted many famous stars like Bob Hope, fighter Jack Dempsey, magician Harry Blackstone Jr., Al Jolson, and many others.
Nice.
Yeah. In
Vaudeville.
Yeah.
Vaudeville.
That's a theme in all this. In February 1926, the theater actually hired a 12-member orchestra for music behind silent films, since that was gaining popularity. Also, the Lincoln Theater claims that Harry Houdini came to do a show before he was world famous, and that there is a permanently marked hole on the wooden stage of the theater due to his performance they called the Houdini hole.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's not where my brain is.
Yeah, I do. No, it's not that.
Okay, I'm going to say it, but I'm going to say it in a voice from. Have you ever watched the Gold Rush show? So Gold Rush is about a bunch of gold miners in Alaska. So it's a reality show, Gold Miners in Alaska. And there's an old man. They call him the Old Man.
Oh,
and
nice title.
Yes. And so when they find an area that they believe is rich in gold that they have to dig through, they call it a glory hole. And so I always hear the old man, because he was obsessed with this one glory hole, and I always hear the old man go, glory hole. So
it's like a cartoon.
That's what's in my head in case you guys wanted to know.
No.
Glory hole.
No. Houdini hole.
Houdini hole.
Houdini hole.
Houdini hole.
But however, this is a speculation, as some claim he never did visit, because magician Harry Blackstone Jr. did indeed visit. And he claimed when his father would travel and perform, Houdini would also perform, since they were rivals. So most likely, since Harry Blackstone Sr. visited Lincoln, so did Houdini. But no one knows for sure.
Of course.
Mystery. In 1929, movies with sound, or as they called them, talkies. Good job, Angela. Were showed for the first time at the Lincoln. Thus, vaudeville theater started to dwindle, and so did silent movies. The orchestra was sadly released soon after. Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
The theater went on with success, though, until the 1970s, when it was sold to Plitt Theaters, Inc., then again passed to the Carasotes chain based in Springfield, Illinois. It was then on a month-to-month lease basis and was not going to extend the lease past the end of 1980. And sadly, the Carasotes chain was known to strip theaters of all their valuables and usables and remove the projectors and the speakers.
Where's the sense of
Jerks.
history?
Right?
Come on.
Then the theater remained closed and desolate for years,
Aw.
only opening occasionally for some live music and events. The building suffered from neglect and, as mentioned, saved by locals and currently being restored.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm
Save
glad.
the clock tower.
The spooky stories and hauntings about the Lincoln Square Theater have been going on as early as the 1930s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Troy Taylor of the website Haunted Illinois goes into so much detail about the haunts because he worked there.
Aw,
Yeah,
Troy.
so he knows. Yeah, Troy's like this big guy. You'll see him. Side note, I was talking to Angela. There in Illinois, I think there's a big, what is it, the National Haunted Conference or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Troy is a big part of that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and we were like, Kate, you should go.
Yes, Kate, go.
I want to go, but it's
Take
in
us.
Illinois. Yeah.
We'll go.
Yeah, it'd be fun. And I think this theater is involved, so that's what's cool.
Oh,
about it.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
The claim that most people talk about with ghosts goes by Red. That's his name.
The ghost is named Red.
He worked at the theater during the height of the vaudeville days. He was a great stagehand and devoted to the theater. Sources say he sat down to take a nap after eating lunch in 1927, but never woke up.
Oh,
Poor guy. People assume his soul still lingers in the theater. People have reported hearing strange sounds and hearing phantom footsteps when the theater is supposedly empty. People will hear whispers and strange voices and even see a shadowy apparition in the theater's balcony. This apparition is not Red, however, according to Taylor. The figure is described wearing a long, old-fashioned dress.
Ooh, definitely not Red, unless he did a lot of drag.
I don't think so. That wasn't mentioned. But so far, there you go. Red's a main character. We do have a lady being seen. Okay, so
What color is the dress?
Doesn't say.
Oh, okay.
Long, old-fashioned dress.
All right.
Taylor describes in his article that he had his own experiences. He was preparing for a Halloween show off to the side of the stage when he heard someone walk up the steps and out onto the wooden stage. He dashed around the curtain into the stage and found nobody. He searched the rest of the theater and couldn't find anyone. So who was it?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's Red.
It was Red, yeah. In 1994, an entertainer performing with a traveling production saw a man lurking on the metal spiral staircase located in the back corner of the stage. He claimed he heard someone whispering to him, and when he looked up, he claimed to see a shadowy figure on the steps. He told a staff member, and they couldn't find anyone near the staircase. Yeah, who is it? Taylor also describes an incident with a local reporter and cameraman. He took the cameraman up the spiral staircase to get a better angle of the stage, and it was pitch black. So thankfully, they had a camera to help light their way, right?
Okay.
The light
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
As soon as they reached their destination, they heard loud, clunking footsteps coming up the staircase, and they thought it was the reporter.
Right. Yeah.
Since it was so dark, the cameraman shone the light from the camera on the stairs. At that exact same moment, they heard the reporter's voice from the stage.
Oh,
Nobody was on the stairs.
Oh, that's good. I got chills. Yay.
Yay! Besides the creepy sounds and footsteps, some claim to see the seats in the theater actually move, being pushed down as if someone was sitting down to see the
that's
stage.
cool. I like that
Yeah.
one. That's cool.
And there's nobody there. Also, the lights are known to turn on and off, curtains open and close on their own, and coins that appear out of nowhere drop from the ceiling.
Oh, that's cool and
There's the spiral
scary.
staircase,
Like
by the way.
a coin could hurt. Ooh. Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, that's the one.
Ooh.
But yeah, the coins, that's kind of interesting because I know that was something that Jinn liked to do.
Oh.
But I don't think a Jinn's haunting the
Yeah.
the theater. But you
It's a
never
leprechaun.
know. On theme. Perfect. And American Hauntings ghost hunts were there a couple years ago conducting a search for spirits. Apparently, when it first started, they chose the Lincoln Square Theater as their first location to ghost hunt. So there you go.
Oh,
That is the
yay.
Lincoln Theater or Lincoln Square
Lincoln
Theater.
Square Theater.
Yeah.
Nice.
Illinois.
Yay.
We're going to jump around and travel to New York City.
New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. That's all I'm going to sing.
Oh, I love it. Okay, we're going to visit a theater that is haunted by one specific ghost who is frequently seen.
Cool.
The New Amsterdam Theater was completed in 1903. You know this theater?
Yeah.
There's so many in New York.
So yeah, I used to teach way back when. I used to teach the history of musical theater. So yeah, I know a bunch of theaters.
Well, fun.
Yeah.
So the New Amsterdam we're going to.
Okay.
It was one of the first non-high-rise buildings in New York City with the steel superstructure. It was mechanically advanced for its time with heating, cooling, and vacuum cleaning systems, as well as a fireproof structural frame. When first constructed, the auditorium held around 1,550 seats, but now it has about 1,702, so they've increased a little bit. The facade on 42nd Street is made of gray limestone. The rest is brick. This area was a narrow 10-story office wing, as the auditorium was in the rear facing 41st Street. So here's a nice little black and white
it's
photo.
Very narrow.
Yes, very narrow. Yeah,
very narrow and tall.
Yes. In 1904, the architects Hertz and Talent added a roof garden for the theater's more risque performances.
Ooh.
I didn't know that was possible. Cool.
I like that.
Yeah. Then from 1913 to 1927, the building was owned by the Ziegfeld Follies, a company that ran a lavish production in the tradition of the famous Parisian musical revue, the Folies Bergère, right? Did I say that right?
Berger.
Oh, there you go. You got it. Thank you. Mm-hmm. The roof garden was then converted into a nightclub. Yay.
Oh, very cool. I was thinking as you were like going through, I didn't want to interrupt, but I'm like, so it was a risque roof garden. Do you think they had a glory hole? I just like making Nicole blush. She's so cute.
Stop it.
Oh, the Stitchers were thinking it too. It wasn't just me.
Good connection there. Okay, in 1937, the building was renovated and officially opened as a theater, and maintaining a few of the offices at the top of the building for whichever production company owned it at the time. The theater did close its doors in 1985. However, the Walt Disney Company leased it the same year, renovated it, and reopened it in 1995 to become a flagship theater for Disney theatrical production presentation on Broadway.
On
Good
Broadway.
Job. I told you you're going to sing a lot.
I know.
Now, the one ghost to haunt the building. Olive Thomas was born October 20th, 1898 in Pennsylvania.
That's my sister's birthday. She wasn't born in 1898.
Well, I hope not.
But
Surprised she's still alive. No. She moved to New York City to become a dancer with the Ziegfeld Follies at the age of 17.
Oh, baby.
But it is said that she was already married and divorced before she moved. This girl was like moving and shaking.
No, she wanted her independence. Like that's what that says to me.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
she wanted out of her home.
Yep.
She did that
And
by
she did
getting
it,
married, and now
didn't
she's
like
like, yeah, I don't want to belong to somebody else. I want to follow my dreams. I'm gonna go be a Ziegfeld Folly girl. Oh, look how pretty she is.
Very gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Soon she landed a movie contract in 1916 and left New York for California.
California. We sing that one every time
because we love
California.
that one. Yeah. Well, she met and married Jack Pickford. Does Pickford sound familiar?
Yes.
There you go. His sister was Mary Pickford.
Yes.
Yeah. Famous actress, but Jack wasn't as famous.
Yeah,
No, not as big. Supposedly in 1920, Jack and Olive visited Paris for their second honeymoon, and they got into a huge fight.
Uh-oh.
They argued all night, and Jack stormed out of the hotel room. Jack had been taking mercury bichloride for his syphilis.
Oh, no.
Which is not good. So it is said
he was mad.
Yeah.
He was out of his mind.
She downed the entire bottle.
Olive, no.
Yeah, and doing so, she died.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So the other part of this, though, is that on the trip to Paris, Jack told Olive he contracted syphilis and she most likely had it. And the official reports say Olive accidentally swallowed an overdose of Jack's medicine. So we don't know exactly, but obviously she died of that poisoning.
Yeah, mercury.
Yep.
Yeah.
Her body was brought back to Woodlawn Cemetery in the Bronx for burial. Then, in the 1920s, friends would say they ran into Olive backstage.
What?
These friends may not have known she passed, but they did after telling others of her sighting. She was seen frequently after her death.
Oh, Olive.
But then she stopped showing up when the theater was underused as 42nd Street went into a decline. But then reports of her presence picked up again after Disney restored the building.
Wow.
The construction workers began to report seeing a woman carrying a blue bottle in the off-limits work area.
Olive.
Yep.
Oh, so I wonder, okay. I'm just wondering if she OD'd, but maybe if she was fighting with her husband, maybe there was some foul play and that's why she's hanging around and holding the blue bottle. She's trying to get somebody to be like, hey, I didn't die on purpose.
It could be.
Or on accident. Like it.
Yeah,
I did die on
accidentally.
purpose, but it wasn't an accident.
Right.
And I wasn't on my own hand.
Well, obviously she has unfinished business.
Yeah.
She just died
Olive.
too early. Vice President of Operation at the Disney Theatrical Group and manager of the theater, Dana Amendola, has had unexplained experiences at the New Amsterdam. One was in the mid-2000s when he was touring the old roof theater when it was being converted to office space. When he passed below the stage, he suddenly heard the sound of tap dancing on the boards above him.
What?
He quickly climbed to the stage level only to find he was alone.
Oh.
Knowing Olive's reputation, he started to keep reports of her appearances from others and himself. Where Amendola heard the tap dancing is now used for storage, but employees report seeing a woman there, or sometimes a disembodied part of feet climbing the staircase.
Ooh,
Olive. One spooky current sighting happened not too long ago when a security guard called Amendola at 2:30 a.m. saying he had seen a woman in a green beaded dress walking on the stage and carrying a blue bottle. Recent.
I got chills again. That's good.
Yeah, he yelled to the lady, "Hey, you can't be here," as she slowly glided right through the wall and out onto 41st Street.
So dramatic. I love it.
So dramatic. Now I'm going to read another tale of a possible Olive encounter from Playbill.com, written by Robert Viagas. During previews of Aladdin, Amendola said a female replacement conductor who had worked on Mary Poppins and knew about Olive was getting ready in a dressing room. Reading from an email from the conductor, Amendola said she spoke out loud to Olive, "Well, Olive, I'm back again, and I'm a little nervous. I just wanted to introduce myself again and ask if you could please give me some good luck." Then she mused aloud. I wonder what the Follies girls would have thought of a female conductor. And just then, according to the conductor's email, 4 of the round dressing room bulbs flickered on and off for a few seconds and then stopped.
Oh, that's cool.
The bulbs were all new, having just been replaced for the new show. She said it was like a wink. She was signaling that she was fine with the idea.
Oh, that's cool.
That's sweet.
That's sweet. Olive. That's nice.
In 2014, a patron coming to see Aladdin asked one of the ushers if she could have a booster seat for her child. They apparently don't like to interrupt the show, so they end up waiting until intermission to help audience members. When intermission happened, the usher found the lady, but the lady said she already had the booster. After questioning where she had gotten it, she stated it was the lady at the back of the theater, and she had gestured where they were. Apparently, there's no woman at the back of the house that helps during the middle of the show. They asked all the staff and no one had done it, and it freaked everyone out.
I love it.
Now, it could have been someone who knew the theater in and out, but not sure who
just
would be
like
standing.
a guest.
But who's standing randomly during the show to help with the booster seat?
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
That
That's
creeped
cool,
them out, though.
I love it. Yay! That's a good one.
Right?
That's a happy one.
Lastly, most claim she appears to men more than women and is a friendly spirit. Amendola hung portraits of her backstage, as the superstition is for theater employees to say good morning and good night to Olive to keep things running smoothly.
Yep.
And Amendola's theory is that she won't appear on cue, like if people are asking for her to come out at Halloween. He sees a trend between when changes are happening around the building, like putting in a new show or putting a new office in with her sightings. And it's
sense.
right, because you're disturbing a lot of the energy, right? It's become so intense that the staff have to do a special sweep of the theater each night to ensure crazy Olive fans or paranormal researchers aren't hiding in corners of the theater because they found them before.
That would so be me. I'd be like hiding in the bathroom with my feet up on the stall, like,
I'm going to catch Olive.
Oh, that's awesome.
Funny.
That's so good.
So that's the New Amsterdam Theater.
Yay.
We're going to go across the pond, like really across the pond.
Okay.
And I put this in my notes. You're going to see a theme with the theaters I'm choosing to report about. Let's see if you can spot it.
Okay.
We're going to Wellington, New Zealand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's like way across the pond. That's not across the pond. It's across
the whole
many,
globe.
many ponds. Yeah.
In 1899, James Fuller bought land that belonged to a church and a volunteer hall and turned the old hall into a theater, calling it His Majesty's Theater.
Oh, very nice.
Very prominent.
Yes.
He wanted to use it for vaudeville and films.
Oh, vaudeville.
Yeah, again.
Vaudeville.
But then in 1911, the building was declared a fire hazard and was demolished in that year.
Oh, no.
Soon after, Fuller built a new and improved theater that was opened December 26, 1912, also known as Boxing Day.
Yes.
And it was renamed the St. James Theater and was the largest theater in Australasia with 2,355 seats.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It started as a theater to screen films, but then after the first 9 months, they set up the stage for vaudeville theater only on September 15th, 1913. There is some discrepancy, though, regarding the name, as one site says the theater was not renamed the St. James Theater until May 3rd, 1930, when it went over to full-time cinema. So with the talkies, so we don't know. But it was St. James Theater at some point.
Okay.
Now, Fuller did unfortunately die in 1923, so the naming could have changed afterwards, but I'm not 100%. After World War II, the theater was then again changed to stage performances. It just keeps going back and forth.
Make up your mind, people.
Well, they wanted to get as many people in, I'm guessing.
Get the butts in the seats.
Exactly. When the 1970s came, supposedly there was competition to possess the theater, but despite that, the St. James fell into a decline and even closed.
Oh, no.
Do you see your theme yet?
Yep. So things are declining. Everything's coming to a close, and then we get a revitalization.
Yes. Those last
Things
three.
back.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
In 1985, the Chase Corporation purchased it and asked for a demolition permit 1 year later. May 7th, 1987, it played its final movie, Wanted, Dead or Alive. And it was
wanted, dead or alive.
I don't think that's that for that, right?
Well,
no.
Good
job.
Right words. Got
Yes. It was a small attendance, but then a group came together that loved the theater, and they were able to spare it from being demolished.
Yay.
Yay. They were able to restore the theater to what it is today.
Huzzah.
Huzzah. St. James Theater is home to a few entities. However, there is one prevalent ghost that causes most of the mischief. The theater claims the ghost is that of Yuri, a Russian performer. Some sites say he's an acrobat. Some say a dancer. Maybe both.
Yep.
I don't know. He's a performer.
We usually go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Dancing and acrobat.
Right? He fell to his death during a performance.
Oh, no.
Poor Yuri.
Oh, no. Yuri.
There are rumors circulating that his death can be blamed on a female Russian performer named Pasha who pushed Yuri. He is known, though, to play with the lights when the cleaners turn them off. They blame Yuri for turning them back on. Supposedly, Yuri had saved the life, though, of a stage projectionist twice.
Oh,
yeah, this
that's
is fun.
Good.
Story goes that the man was searching for a light switch when the auditorium was in complete pitch black darkness. Suddenly, the stage projectionist was forcefully pushed backwards. The lights then when turned on, he saw that if he would have taken another step forward, he would have fallen into the orchestra pit.
Oh,
Someone saved
that's
him.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yuri, good ghost.
Yeah, right. Then later, the same stage projectionist was on stage while carrying his infant son in his arms. Out of nowhere, a beam above him collapsed right above his head, and he heard the crack. Just like before, though, an unseen force pushed him out of the way, and his baby boy was carried through the air for about 3 meters.
What? Oh, that's awesome.
The stage,
I love this ghost.
Right? The stage projectionist thanked Yuri.
Yes.
So he saved his life.
You would
twice.
have, Yuri's awesome.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Good ghost.
I want him to have peace and move on, but thank you for protecting.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's overseeing everything.
Oh, I love him.
Another spirit that is often seen, you're not going to like, is called the Wailing Woman.
Oh, no. Sounds like
Yeah.
Moaning Myrtle.
Yeah, exactly. She was an actress in life, and her career went into a small decline. She decided she was ready to make a comeback and performed at the St. James Theater, but alas, she was allegedly booed off the stage.
Oh, no.
She grew so depressed that she took her own life either right in the theater or at home.
Aw.
Now she is heard and seen in the theater. Apparently, filmmaker Peter Jackson saw her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I want to know that
when
story.
he was doing like Lord of the Rings and stuff, probably.
Yeah. But didn't hear anything else except that he did see her in the theater.
Oh, that's cool.
But she does target female actresses, and she is blamed for an actress who sprained her ankle on stage. One actress inexplicably fell off a ladder. She didn't trip, and she was holding on, not moving. And some actresses suddenly become hoarse on stage, unable to sing or perform.
She's mean. Don't be vindictive.
opposite of
That's
beauty.
not cool.
And of course, she is nicknamed the Wailing Woman because people hear mysterious cries when no one is around and a lot of weeping in the dressing rooms.
Misery loves company,
Yep.
but I wish she would be more like Yuri.
I know.
Well, they have like a yin and yang thing happening there, so
Kind of need both.
balance.
Again, balance.
I don't know.
But yeah, people claim she's a very jealous soul.
Oh, poor lady.
Yeah. The other single spirit seen in the ghost is of a tall, thin man, supposedly in his 30s, and is seen frequently. That's all I got on him. So there's another ghost.
Thin man.
Thin man. Lastly, the most odd phenomenon that happens at the St. James Theater. Story goes that during World War II, a boys' choir sang their last concert at the St. James before departing New Zealand on a ship. Sadly, the boat never reached its destination,
Oh, no.
and the boys were never found.
Oh, no.
It is said the staff will hear a full boys' choir singing in the auditorium.
Wow.
But when they go in to expect the hall to find the sound, it moves to another location.
Oh, cool.
They keep trying to find it.
I got chills.
Yeah.
I got chills. That was a good one.
And
That's
they can't,
chills.
and they keep locating the sound, and then it completely stops.
That's good.
So there's some boys' choir
That's
hanging
a good
out.
one.
Yeah.
Oh,
St. James Theater.
I love haunted theaters. Like,
Yeah.
I love it.
It's fun, isn't it?
It's so fun. I'm just like having all these like flashback moments because there's a lot of superstition that goes into theater.
Right.
And when I was on stage and doing performing, and I used to love to go out after they put the ghost light out and just sit there and just like
Soak it in.
feel the energy, because so much energy just lives and breathes and resides in a theater. Even if you don't think it's haunted, the energy still is there and it still lingers. And it's a really cool thing to just sit there on an empty stage when the ghost light is out, looking out into the audience and just like absorbing all that energy. That's so cool. I don't know. Okay, I'm like so off.
No,
in
I
my
love
own
it.
world right now.
I
but
love it. No,
this
theaters are
is so
really
good.
magical. I agree.
They are.
Okay, since California is reported as the second most haunted state in the United States,
Yeah.
I can't leave out a theater
No,
here.
you can't. Where are we going?
June 4th, 1930, the Hollywood Pantages
Yay!
Theater opened on the corner of Hollywood and Vine. The theater opened as part of the Pantages Theater circuit and featured vaudeville with first-run movies alternating through the day. The Great Depression hit and forced the theater to operate solely as a movie theater with live performances sprinkled in. Unfortunately, in 1929, Alexander Pantages was falsely accused of the rape of a 17-year-old dancer, Eunice Ellis Pringle. Due to the cost of his legal team and the smear on his reputation, Pantages was forced to sell the theater soon after it opened, and Alexander Pantages died in 1936.
Oh, man.
Howard Hughes acquired the Pantages Theater in 1949 and changed the name to the RKO Pantages. Hughes set up offices on the second floor and built a door that connected to his office directly to one of the theater balconies so that he could go think in the dark. Think about that for later.
That's cool.
The RKO Pantages Theater even hosted the annual Academy Awards in the 1950s. Then in 1967, Pacific Theaters bought the Pantages Theater and started major renovations to rehabilitate the building. In 2000, the theater shut down for renovations, and it reopened to resemble the stately and grandeur theater first built in the 1930s. They installed brand new wall-to-wall carpeting and 2,703 brand new theater seats.
Yeah, the Pantages is cool.
I haven't been, and I have
You
to.
haven't
I
been?
know, I have to go. I know. So yeah, I haven't been to the Pantages. We went to the El Capitan Theater.
Yes, that one's cool too.
That's really pretty, and that was
Yeah.
fun. But yeah, I haven't been to that one yet. On to the spooks.
Okay, I'm ready.
Alexander Pantages himself has been seen in the theater. People believe it's because his spirit is at unrest due to his attachment to his prized possession that he had to sell in life.
Aww.
He's usually spotted on the main floor of the building. In the 1990s, a wardrobe lady was the last to leave the theater. All the lights had been turned off and she had a difficult time finding her way out. Suddenly, someone took her gently by the elbow and guided her to the exit. When she reached the exit, she turned around to thank the person who had helped escort her, but there was nobody there.
What?
She reported that she heard no footsteps of anyone leaving, and between the time she exited and the time she turned to thank her good doer, it was too short for someone to run away. She believes it was Pantages himself lending a helpful hand since he was such a gentleman in life.
Oh, that's sweet.
Isn't that very sweet?
Yes.
Then we have the other former owner, Howard Hughes, supposedly not leaving the theater. In 1990, there was a break-in attempt by vandals to the second floor conference room, and employees think this is what prompted Hughes to visit since his office was located there.
Oh, yeah.
Since that happened, employees have reported feeling cold spots or unexplained breezes, as well as seeing his apparition in the area. Also, common occurrences in this room are rattling desk drawers and smelling cigarette smoke.
Ooh, I don't like the cigarette smoke.
No.
I'd rather be cigar smoke. That's a
cigar
better
smell is
smell.
way better.
Yeah.
According to LAGhostTour.com, in 1992, a Nederlander corporation executive assistant reported seeing a tall male figure walk down the hall into an old office. Soon after this, she heard door handles being rattled and drawers opened and closed. She said she felt an unseen presence and a cool passing wind in an area with no wind source available. Note she saw the tall male figure not once, but twice.
That's awesome.
Creepy. Hughes is often seen on the balcony watching rehearsals just like he'd done before when he was alive. He was spotted in the back row of the balcony during a rehearsal, and when security was notified, because everybody saw him,
Right?
he disappeared before they got to the spot.
Ah, love it. I love it.
This is that same balcony that he built the direct route from his office to.
Oh, so cool.
Howard
I love
Hughes.
it.
And in 2000, when renovations were being done to the theater, people claimed to see a man stepping off the balcony wearing a bowler hat, walking along the scaffolding, and then stood over a worker to inspect his work. When the guy turned to ask the man what he wanted, the figure vanished. And after this event, up for speculation whether it was a few or the entire crew, but they walked off the job.
Oh my gosh.
They were
like,
too
nope,
scared.
Done.
Yeah.
Not doing this anymore.
Nope.
Not messing around with ghosts.
Right? After
Oh,
this,
funny.
ushers have also seen the same particular spirit sitting in his seat in the mezzanine level. People think it's Howard Hughes' spirit. That's him.
That's Howard Hughes.
Yep. Okay, next
Yes.
is the singing ghost.
The singing ghost.
Yes.
Yay.
The two theories are this ghost was an actress that either committed suicide or died in the mezzanine during a show in 1932.
Whoa.
Although there are no confirmed death reports in the theater.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
But when the microphone system is up and running for shows, people report hearing a voice being picked up singing when no one is near the microphones.
Cool. I love it. That's so
People
cool.
claim she is a fan of Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Oh,
as they hear-
the phantom of the opera is here
told you you're gonna sing.
inside my mind.
Because they do hear tunes from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat
Go, 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 Josephine.
and the Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. Nice.
Michaela Cumming wrote a really good piece on Broadway and Hollywood called The Eternal House Staff that goes through all the spooky events that have taken place in the theater. Here are some otherworldly encounters people have reported at the Pantages Theater.
I'm ready.
Okay. A pair of sisters have been spotted in the mezzanine by many employees.
Uh-oh.
They are always in the same 2 seats in the front row.
Oh, that's cool.
Is that fun?
As long as it's not the 2 little girls from The Shining. They can be any sisters. That's good.
But they're probably older. so-
Probably older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
enjoying the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
not young little ones trying to say, play with me,
Ah.
Daddy. No. Okay. 2, for a while, employees have reported hearing a dog barking coming from the basement. Even the jingling of dog tags are heard. No one can find any evidence of a dog or animal trapped in the basement.
Oh, puppy.
So someone's doggy is still there.
Oh,
Now, this is so cool. I got to show you a picture.
no. Okay.
Do you see the picture?
I see the picture.
Okay. There's a really cool ladies' room located in the left side of the lobby near the lower bar that is referred to as the mirror room
Yes.
because it has a fun-looking powder room attached, which I showed her the picture.
Yes.
At the end of every performance, ushers are required to check each restroom to make sure all patrons have left the building. After one particular event, a female usher went to the mirror room to check and saw a woman standing near the last sink. She left and told her supervisor about the one lone patron, but then minutes went by and they didn't see anyone leave the restroom. So after waiting a good amount of time, they went in to check on the lady and she was nowhere. They had been watching the restroom doors and exits and no one left or was seen leaving out the front. Others have reported seeing a woman's face in one particular piece of mirror glass in the mirror room.
Oh, that's cool.
So we gotta go hang out in the mirror
Yeah,
room.
we do.
Lastly,
Who cares about the show?
we're just gonna hang
go
out
to the
in the
mirror room.
Where's the mirror lady? Lastly, it is said that ushers at the Pantages Theater do not like taking on the assigned position at Tunnel 4, which is the mezzanine entrance on house left. Here, ushers are responsible for directing patrons to their seats. And after the show begins, the usher must take a seat at the end of the hall, but they stand out of respect when a patron walks by, right? In case they need help.
Right.
A lot of ushers have reported hearing footsteps coming down the hall, and they stand up and find nobody there. So these are the creepy pictures. See, there's the entrance.
Uh-huh.
And then that's the dark, creepy hallway.
Oh, that looks like something from Nightmares. No,
Yes.
It's
Right?
definitely very
It's dark
film
and ominous.
worthy.
Yeah.
Like you want to see like a what is it making me think of in the Haunted Mansion?
Ooh,
the hallway with the
yeah.
floating
Yes, the
candelabra.
candelabra. Yeah. Or
that's what
just
it
like,
looks
it just keeps going or
Yeah,
something. That's
yeah.
what it looks like to
Yeah.
me.
Oh, how annoying. You're just
Yeah.
like, I'm sitting there minding my own business. Okay, I
Here's
want to
somebody-
stand. And like, nobody
nobody's
here
here.
again.
Again.
I bet it happens like just when you get comfortable too. You're
Right?
like,
So creepy. I wouldn't want that job either.
no.
All right. We got one more theater.
Oh, one more. Okay.
I know there's a lot more, but these
Yeah.
are the ones I got.
Okay.
Our last stop is known to be the world's oldest theater site in continuous use and also called the most haunted theater in the world.
Whoa.
This is Theatre Royal, I'm going to guess, Drury Lane in London, England.
Ooh.
Yes. Where the current theater is.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
Oh, man. Okay. Where the current theater is, which they all just call Drury Lane since it backs onto Drury Lane and faces Catherine Street, previously Bridges Street. Just giving you a little history. It's the fourth theater built in the same location.
Oh my gosh.
So the site itself dates back to 1663.
Wow.
Yes. The first theater was initially named Theatre Royal in Bridges Street, but then the theater caught fire in 1672. Another much larger theater replaced that one, renamed Theatre Royal in Drury Lane. That was opened in 1674. Thankfully, this theater stood the test of time as it stayed put for nearly 120 years.
Wow. That is amazing.
long time,
Oh
right?
my gosh.
In the late 1700s, owner Richard Brinsley Sheridan hired Joseph Grimaldi, the theater's resident clown.
Oh no clowns. I don't like them.
I had to end with this one. You're going to love it. And was known as the father of the
You're
clowns.
killing me.
Killing me, Larry.
Oh, mattress commercial. My brain automatically goes, you're killing me, Smalls, but like you're
I hear that on the
killing
radio all the
me,
time.
Larry.
Sorry, if
It's
you're
a
from
mattress
California, you'll get it, yeah. Okay.
Oh, I love it.
But fun fact, supposedly the clown makeup he wore was iconic, and since him, all British clowns copy his makeup to this day.
Oh no. Oh, I
You know where
hate
this
it.
is all going.
No, I
Okay.
hate it.
Then in
Why is it with clowns? What does it do it to us with the clowns?
Because we hate clowns, dude. Oh my gosh, clowns are the worst.
Oh man. Okay, let's get back to
Let's
it.
get it. Then in 1791, the building was demolished to build an even larger theater, which opened in 1794. Alas, it was up for 15 years before it caught fire
15 years.
and burned down in 1809. Yeah, everything keeps catching fire.
Mm-hmm.
The current theater, though, was opened in 1812.
Okay, so this
So-
one's been around for a
since a
long,
long
time.
time.
Okay.
When World War II hit, the theater closed and the building served as headquarters for the Entertainment's National Service Association. But then in 1946, the theater reopened, but primarily hosted long runs of musicals that included Oklahoma,
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains. Oklahoma, where the waving wheat can sure smell sweet. Where the wind comes right behind the rain.
there you go, My Fair Lady,
I could have danced all night.
know that
I
one.
could have danced all night and still have begged for more. Got to be dramatic there. Okay. Sorry.
was perfect.
Hit me up. What's next?
42nd Street,
42nd Street. Oh, let me see. Where in the money? Where in the money? Or I could have sung 42nd Street, but I don't sing that one. Okay, what's
I love
next?
how excited you are about
I know,
this.
this is fun.
And Miss Saigon.
Miss Saigon. Oh my gosh. Which one do I want to do
You're
from that
so
one?
excited.
I already sang a Miss Saigon earlier, but okay, let's see. Why, God, why this man? I don't know. That's, oh,
You are
gosh.
so cute. I'm going to let you sing.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Or the heat is on in Saigon. When I was in college, we used to, my friends and I, because we were all music majors, and this is how fun, we used to grab all of our songbooks and go into a practice room, and somebody would sit down at the piano. People would take turns. Not me, because I'm not a good pianist.
I'm terrible.
But, people that were piano majors would
Yeah.
sit down, take turns, and we would sing through scores. We'd sing
how
through all
fun
these.
you guys are.
And so we would make up our own words. And so I'm like hearing
Your own.
our own version of Miss Saigon, and I can't get the right words out.
That's
So,
funny. Good job. Well,
um,
Miss Saigon was the theater's longest running show, so that's cool. All right. In 2000, Andrew Lloyd Webber purchased the theater, and in 2014 has been owned and managed by LW Theaters, Lloyd Webber's management company. In 2013, Lloyd Webber spent £4 million for restoration, celebrating the theater's 350th anniversary.
oh, wow.
350, imagine that. Holy
No,
cow.
about Tree Fitty.
That's our theme. Oh, man. Then in 2019, the theater had ongoing renovations. Then COVID hit. Drury Lane reopened in 2021 with its West End debut of Disney's Frozen.
Oh, yes.
So this is it. This is the theater.
Oh,
royal.
pretty.
Isn't that really pretty?
Yeah, it looks very modern.
Yes.
For a
For
350-year-old
an old
theater.
Yep.
How beautiful,
It
though.
is gorgeous. Today, the theater seats roughly 2,000 people, streamlined from 3,060 prior to renovations done in 1922. And the 2013 renovations restored the rotunda, royal staircase, and grand saloon back to their original Regency style.
Oh, pretty.
It's gorgeous.
Yep.
Now, I should have mentioned this at the start, but to see a theater ghost means good luck, right?
Yes.
For an actor production. So Drury Lane should be one of the luckiest theaters
Oh,
around.
nice.
The infamous ghost at this London theater is known as the Man in Grey.
The Man in Grey.
People speculate he is a nobleman from the 18th century because he is seen with a powdered wig, tri-corner hat, a dress jacket and cloak or cape, riding boots, and even a sword.
A sword?
A sword. On the main website of the Theatre Royal Drury Lane, they mentioned during renovations in the 1840s that they found a small, forgotten room that was walled up. Inside,
Did they find a skeleton?
It was a skeleton.
No, they didn't. Did they really find a skeleton? Are you kidding me?
In gray
no.
rags.
Uh-oh.
With a knife through his heart.
No. Was it real? It wasn't a stage prop. Oh.
It was real. 1840s, they found that.
Oh, that's crazy.
This same area today is where the Man in Grey is often seen. Isn't that
nice.
So cool? Once during a photo shoot for a cast on stage, all 70 of them claimed to see a man, the Man in Grey, allegedly, sitting in the audience and just watching them.
Oh, crazy. I got chills. That's good.
They witnessed him get up out of the seat that most people see him sitting in, walk away, and disappear. 70 of them.
70. Wow. That's awesome.
Another ghost that is stuck in the theater is possibly Irish actor Charles Macklin. In 1735, Macklin got into a heated argument during rehearsal. One source says it was just over a wig.
Oh, no.
But they got into a fight, and Macklin took a cane and shoved it into the other guy's eye.
Oh, my gosh.
Reaching his brain, causing immediate death.
Dude.
Yeah.
It had to be more than a wig. There's got to be some other, like.
Probably a lady.
Yeah. Always.
Always. From the show Most Haunted. You can watch this. This is fun. I watched it. Season 1, episode 4. They bring in psychic Derek Acora, who was taken over by Macklin's spirit.
Oh, no.
And says the other actor that was pierced in the eye was named Arnold Woodruff. I'm going to get to that. But supposedly Macklin's spirit is always seen towards the back of the theater, pacing and watching. Medium Acora believes that Macklin's spirit is stuck because the actor that was murdered is still there and will not let his spirit leave the theater. The cast of Most Haunted put a theory out that the Man in Grey is Woodruff's murdered spirit, but not sure since the skeletal remains had a knife in the heart area, right?
Right.
But who knows? That could be a completely different ghost altogether.
Oh, man.
But it seems like this theater draws people to stab each other.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's like getting stabbed.
Stabby.
Stabby. Another ghost that is blamed for pushing actors off the stage is George Wilde Galvin, an English stage actor and comedian in the late 1800s. People think it's this specific actor because Drury Lane was a favorite of his, and when alive, he would douse himself in the scent of strong lavender. That is what people smell suddenly when no one is around, and also when the invisible mischief happens on stage.
His little calling card.
Remember I mentioned the father of the clowns?
Stop it.
Joe
Yes.
Grimaldi?
Yes, I was waiting for this stupid clown to come back to haunt me.
Well, he had a tragic ending when he retired due to bad health, then fell into poverty. He died in 1937, but has never left Drury Lane. He has been spotted watching over the productions on stage and witnessed many times by theater staff, actors, and audience members. He is more known, though, for being a very helpful spirit to actors and actresses.
Oh, that's good. He's
Yeah.
not a murder clown.
He's not a murder clown, for sure. One specific recount was when the musical Oklahoma had its run in the 1940s. It is said a young American comedian was having problems delivering her solo lines, gaining no reaction from the
Probably.
audience.
I'm just a girl who can't say no. I bet it's Ado Annie. It's always a comedic role.
Probably. Then, during one performance of the show, website Ghost Walk of the Lanes wrote, she said she felt firm hands place themselves upon her shoulders and begin propelling her to a different part of the stage. The hands then gently repositioned the actress's arms and readjusted the angle of her head. In that instant, as she delivered her lines, the audience responded with rapturous laughter.
Oh, Wow. It would be a clown that knows how to draw out the laughter.
There you go.
Oh, okay, clown, you're redeeming. Thank you for oh no. I just saw her finger flick nope, wait a minute.
Oh, this is another good one.
Oh, okay.
Then it happened again to another young singer years later as she was auditioning for The King and I. This actress was called to the stage to perform, yet she was nerve-struck and couldn't do it. But suddenly, she felt an encouraging tap on her shoulder, and the comforting touch of unseen hands began guiding her to center stage. Throughout the audition, her hand was held by this strange, ethereal force. This calmed the young singer immensely, and without fear, she sang her heart out, thus gaining the lead role in the musical.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, I like him, but I don't think I like him because you still have a look on your face.
This is the end. Fun fact.
Uh-huh.
Grimaldi wished to be buried with his head severed from his body.
No, why did you have to edit that?
Supposedly account for sightings of a clown white face floating in the wings of the theater. And that was him.
Oh, no.
I had to show her a picture they draw. This is a rendition of him.
You're turning red. I feel the tears coming. Why do I react like this to clowns?
I hate clowns.
I don't know.
But that's why I had to give you that picture. That's him. But Angela, look.
What?
We have to go to their garden cafe. This is my
Oh,
end.
that's pretty.
Isn't that gorgeous?
I would love to go there. Okay. We have, she even wrote in her notes, Angela, we have to go here. Look at this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's Drury Lane. Isn't that fun?
So good.
There's so
this
many
was
creepy ghosts.
so awesome. Kate, thank you for suggesting this one. This was another listener
This made
request.
Angela very happy too.
It did. I love it. If you guys want to request any further episodes from us, please drop us a line at theominoussstitch@gmail.com. You can also jump over to our website. It's on podbean.com, and you can look up The Ominous Stitch Podcast. There we have all kinds of goodies for you, not just a button that you can click to become a patron. Hi, Kate.
Hey.
Hi, Brittany. But you can also just find any show notes or any links that we have that are connected to any of the episodes. If you guys want to dive a little deeper with us, we would love that. Drop us a line, hit us up on any of our social medias. We want to connect with you. Let's become a stronger community together because we have so much fun hearing from you guys and connecting. And getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
Yay!
Oh, this was a super fun trip. I'm exhausted. Clowns, man. Every single time,
you,
clowns
don't they?
get me. She is going to be on the lookout for as many clown stories from this point on. I can feel it.
Yep.
But speaking of, no, there's no clowns,
more
in
clowns.
this one.
Woo-hoo.
No more clowns.
But it is.
It is movie time.
It's movie time. This week's movie is Crimson Peak.
Crimson Peak.
Released in 2015, IMDb rating of 6.5 stars. The synopsis: in the aftermath of a family tragedy, an aspiring author is torn between love for her childhood friend and the temptation of a mysterious outsider. Trying to escape the ghosts of her past, she is swept away to a house that breathes, bleeds, and remembers.
Oh, that's an interesting synopsis.
Directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Yes. Okay. I didn't realize, I didn't look to see who directed this. And the whole time, and I texted Nicole this, the whole time I was watching this movie, I was like, this is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It is gorgeous to watch.
Yes.
The way that he presents the supernatural elements. Hi, Siri.
Siri doesn't understand.
So the way he presents the supernatural elements are beautiful.
Yes.
Definitely in his style with his creepy
very,
monsters.
very creepy.
It's very stylish.
The ghosts are scary looking.
The ghosts are scary looking, but they're beautiful at the same time.
True.
That's his style.
And you want to watch the whole time,
Yeah,
even
you
though it
want
spooks
to watch.
you.
And it's beautiful. And I was like, this is so pretty to look at. And it's so creepy and weird. And the subject matter is like hard. And
It's kind of gut wrenching.
yeah. And I'm like, oh, this gets such a reaction because you're like, you're finding beauty in the grotesque, which once I found out at the end of the movie and I saw the credits, it was Guillermo del Toro. I
Made
was like,
sense, didn't it?
oh my gosh, of course.
Yes, it was
That's
so
what
good.
he does.
He does a really good job of that. And the casting is awesome.
Yes, Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah,
Tom Hiddleston.
Hiddleston, yep.
I love him.
And Jessica Chastain makes a really good creepy
Oh my gosh.
person, right? I didn't think she could do that. And she pulled it off really well. I'm sorry, I cut you off though, but
No,
Tom
yes.
Hiddleston, go ahead.
Tom Hiddleston does that tortured soul. So I think it's the big blue eyes that make you like your heart reaches out to him, but at the same time you're like, you are trouble.
You're
but
not trustworthy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, it was good.
I was telling Angela in the car that we just finished watching the Alice in Wonderlands by Tim Burton.
Yeah.
And she's the main
same-
actress.
the same
Mia
actress.
Wasikowska, I think that's how you say it. But
Yeah.
she's really good, but it's very typecast.
She plays the innocent.
Yes, innocent,
really well.
curious. Yeah.
Yeah.
She does a great job.
Curious, innocent.
Yeah, and then I forgot that it was Charlie Hunnam as her like
Oh yeah.
savior.
Yeah.
Spoiler
yeah.
warning, but spoiler alert. But yeah,
Well, I mean,
loved
you
him.
get that. And like he's definitely the hero type.
Yes,
You have the hero type and you have
down
the
to
tortured
earth.
soul.
Yeah.
And who is she going to pick?
Right.
Duh.
Duh.
Because she's a sweet,
writer.
innocent.
But she's
a writer, so she has to follow like the drama.
Yes.
And so
She
she
did.
definitely followed the drama, even though she was warned several
Spooky
times not
house.
to follow the drama.
But she didn't know it was she didn't know what that. I mean, the house wasn't called. It was a different estate.
Yeah, it had Ala something. I don't remember
Yeah,
the name of
but
it. It had a different
Crimson-
name,
yeah.
but then the nickname is Crimson Peak.
Because of when the winter comes. and
Because of when the
clay.
winter comes, the house is built on red clay, which
Yes.
is what they sell. They sell the red clay to bricks. That's their industry.
Right.
And it's a failing industry for this family. So they're searching for money and that comes into play.
But
and you figure out how that works into this.
this.
But anyway, but yeah, when the clay comes up through the snow, it makes it look like the snow is bleeding. And
Yes.
it's beautiful.
It's
and
beautiful and
grotesque.
gruesome at the same time. Such a cool
So,
house and how
yeah.
you filmed it. But anyway, it's so good. I would highly recommend it. I
recommend it. This movie like stuck with me because
Yeah.
it was just so visual and it makes you feel a lot. Like,
Yes.
because of the grotesqueness and the beauty, you're feeling the dual sides of like
I like that.
of how you want to keep watching it because you're like, wow, this is so cool. And you're very attracted to it. And at the same time, you feel creeped out by being attracted to it because it's so grotesque.
All the feelings.
Right. All the feelings.
And this is free on Netflix. If you
Yes,
have
it
Netflix,
is, if you have
obviously.
Netflix.
I mean, that's not free then. You're renting Netflix. I couldn't stitch to this.
No,
'Cause I
you
need to
wouldn't
watch-
want to. It's
yeah.
too pretty.
It is very pretty.
There's so much for your eye to see.
Yep.
You need to watch it, not stitch.
Yes. How many stitches would you give it?
I think like when I was watching it, I was so confused, but then it like because of the feelings, I was
Sure.
like, I don't want to like it, but I think I like it, but it stuck with me for so long that I definitely want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So I've got to rate it high. So this one's probably going to be like a 7, maybe.
Okay.
7.5.
I'd give it a 7.5 too.
Yeah, not as high as last week's movie,
Right.
But I still would watch it again. Like I feel like I want to watch it again.
Good.
Yeah,
It's in rotation at some point.
yeah,
And then you can actually stitch to it because you kind of know what's going to happen, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd give it 7.5 stitches too.
Yeah,
That's a really pretty movie
it's very
for a
pretty.
horror movie.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, watch it.
Please go do it.
Crimson Peak. And you'll fall in love with Tom Hiddleston if you aren't already, and you'll hate yourself for it. So.
And we'll leave it at that.
And Jessica Chastain,
Dude,
man,
good job.
She slayed.
She's a good actress. Literally. Oh, hey-oh. She's a good actress for sure.
She is. Oh man, so good, so crazy, so many layers.
Yep. It's like an onion.
I feel it is. Oh man, so it looks like we've reached the end of another amazing episode.
Amazing.
Oh, I love doing this podcast.
Me too.
I'm so glad we decided to do this.
We're having a great time, if you can tell.
Yeah. If you guys are having a great time, drop us a line.
Yeah.
We don't bite hard.
Promise. But share your crochet projects. If you don't crochet, share your crafting projects. We don't care. We love
don't
it all.
care. Yeah.
If you like a horror movie to be reviewed, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We're open to suggestions,
Yes.
people. And so I guess with that being said, we'll see you, Stitchers.
See ya, Stitchers.